What's up, brothers? We're going to talk about what classes are going to want to take what melee options as of now. So for the tactical, we're going to start there. You're going to still want to take the fencing chainsword, just due to the fact if you try to take it the blocking chainsword, which is a nice option, it does suffer from having no class perks that give you survivability. So it does make it a tough choice. If you're going to do it, I would suggest pairing it with the melter rifle. And, you know, that's, as you see, that's the version that I was running recently. And that is probably the best way I found to run the blocking chainsword on the tactical. But I still think his number one option is the fencing version. When it comes to the assault, the Thunderhammer is extremely strong. I think it may be the strongest blocking weapon. You know, I was able to hit a ground pound and execute like 3 majors, you know, with one single hit. So that's pretty insane. But you know, survivability, guys, it does make a big difference. And when you're in lethal, it's a real thing. So I still think his fencing and his balance versions are his best too. If you can adjust to the balance parry system, then you're going to want to switch, I would say, over to balance for the hammer. And then you would also probably want to give these power fists on balance a try too. I felt like those were pretty nice. And then, of course, he has a chainsaw option. But yeah, I would say the fencing and then the balance version, if you can adjust to the system, is very nice too. But blocking, I really can't recommend it just because you lose a lot of survivability. And in lethal, it's just really too much to handle. And then we have the Vanguard, who he takes advantage of the blocking weapons better than any other class. And I feel like the blocking weapons literally moved him up. Just the overall buffs to the melee system with the blocking, the balance, you know, everything getting buffed up. He took advantage of it the best. He literally went up on the tier list due to this patch. So he can run the blocking version because he don't have to worry about his health as much. He can pair it with the melter rifle to keep his contested health up as well. So he is very strong right now, guys. I think he is one of the best classes in the game currently. So I am going to make a tier list when I go through a couple more classes, you know, do a few more operations with them. But right now, I really do feel like the Vanguard is sitting in a very nice place. And, you know, you don't have to try out the blocking version. And if you don't, you know, obviously you're going to want to stick to either the fencing chainsaw if you're a chainsaw guy. But I would switch over to the Blood of Vosus and really give this thing a try if you weren't using this before. Because with the upgraded to the damage, it has the same damage as fencing now. And it's very fast. So I would definitely give that a try. Okay, when it comes to the Bulwark, he is another one who can run the blocking weapons. Just due to the fact of having his banner, you're going to have to be very stingy with it and use it for yourself. But he can do it. I wouldn't really recommend it. I do think his fencing and his balance versions are better. Survivability does become a lot harder when you can't get any parries or gun strikes or anything off. So, and I really don't like his strength on his blocking. I kind of wish that they... Maybe, you know how I kind of wish this was? I kind of wish it was like 11 on strength, 7 on speed, so the same as fencing on speed, and then like maybe even if it was only like 5 on cleaving or something. Just the strength feels extremely weak is what I'm getting at, guys. It doesn't feel good, so I still do recommend the top 2 choices here, and probably most people are going to be more satisfied with the fencing version of the power sword. And then if you can adjust to the balanced, I would try out these balanced power fists, like I said, with the assault. And then with our sniper, one more person who can take advantage of the blocking weapons, though I do not think it is his best choice. It is the Blood of Vosus, I think, for him. With the speed and your cloak and just everything about it, yeah, it feels nice. And then if you do want to go blocking, you're going to go into the Shadow Stab mode and just pair it with your melee perks that increase your, you know, melee damage after cloak break, and you're gonna sit very strong with a blocking weapon as well, as long as you can adjust to, you know, not having your parries and things like that. So this version, if you want to run it, it's all about keeping your cloak up, and I pair it right here, you know, usually with the bolt carbine. So that is really how I feel like each class is sitting right now. So for the blocking weapons, you know, for recommendations, I seriously only recommend like a Vanguard really going in there and working hard to try to improve on the blocking weapons right now. Just because, I mean, overall, they're probably going to keep improving in the game. So eventually, I think every class is going to be able to use them. But as it sits right now, like, I think this could literally make your class better if you get good with the blocking weapons. Just because of, like I said, how his perks are working. He has a lot of extra melee perk damage. And then on top of that, he has the awesome ability to refill his health. So he really doesn't care when he's losing red health, because he can always regain it back. And the other characters, you know, besides the Bulwark, I know, but I just don't think his blocking options, you know, feel as good for some reason, and he just doesn't have the melee perks that the Vanguard has either. So I would go Vanguard as number 1. Bulwark can practice it because they do have the banner, but I would really suggest, if you are a Vanguard class guy, that you should really start practicing them. And I do think eventually it's going to make you overall, you know, stronger in the game. So, you know, that's kind of how I sit with them right now. I do like the changes they're making, and obviously they're, you know, willing to adjust the changes that they've made. They just came out yesterday with adding a second bar of armor to your segments every time that you get up to 3 blocks. I do think they need to change something to either make 2 blocks feel a little more impactful, maybe have a little more stagger or something like that. But because getting to 3 blocks right now for your buff, it is pretty difficult, and it's kind of punishing. Like, every time you're trying to do it, you're getting a lot of extra health damage by not just swinging or dodging instead. So it's very hard to fill up your buff stacks. And maybe if they just let them stick a little longer so you can dodge around more, and then, you know, just keep filling them up that way. And then when you get 3, you know, swoop back in for a big damage hit. But, you know, that's something I'm testing out right now to see how well I can get that to work. But overall, guys, Vanguard's sitting great in the game. Blocking weapons, they're working on them. I do think they are going to get better. And overall, you know, I'm pretty happy that they changed the system up. And we will see where it goes from here. Thanks for checking out the video, guys, and I will catch you on the next one.